Why on earth did they call this How to Die Alone? TeaRon, help me out.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why a lot of things about this show.
Oh, oh no.
I'm serious. I'm serious. Um, I couldn't tell you. I think it's because she's single.
That's it. Yeah, I don't like it. I didn't like it, but let's get into talking about the show. So, How to Die Alone is a new series on Hulu. It is written by and stars Natasha Rothwell. If you are not familiar with Natasha, a lot of us know her from Insecure. Tiron, do you remember her from Insecure?
Never watched Insecure.
Yes, I know that. But do you remember her? I mean, you've
Nope.
seen characters. No? Okay.
I only remember Issa and that boy that for some reason isn't in stuff now. I don't know.
Okay, well, the point is Natasha was there and she is also here. She is the star of this new series. So if you haven't watched her in Insecure, then she may be new to you. But Natasha is a pretty dope actress. I enjoy her. So when I saw her in this trailer, I was super excited to check out this show. So let's go ahead and run this trailer so y'all can check it out.
Let's run it.
My love life is a joke. And the punchline is I work at an airport. I'm afraid to fly.
You can't let fear keep you from taking off.
I was supposed to die today.
Girl, you gotta stop caring about what people think and start doing something that scares you.
Deal.
I'm a bossy!
All right. So, TeaRon, thoughts? Thoughts on the initial trailer when you saw it at first?
I I don't know. I wanted it to be maybe something more than it could have ever been.
Okay.
I think I wanted to laugh uproariously more,
Really? Okay.
and I didn't do that. This show fits into the same sort of like sitcom-y, it's the popular thing right now where everyone's doing like this sort of dry humor, situational stuff that can be over the top. It's very much you ever watch when you're growing up and you watch like a Disney Channel movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a character that's a little off or a little kooky, you'll see another character mouth the word. They'll go weird, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that kind of comedy. Like it's like it's
Yeah.
it's not smart really to me.
Oh.
I don't know. I thought I was getting something else than what I got. But we've seen these kind of things before. Some successful shows like Superstore were really funny, where it's
Yeah.
basically a workplace comedy. Of course, shows like The Office and stuff like this. They all kind of have this same sort of tone, and this is what this show tries to do. Albeit, I never audibly laughed once.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. I can't say that I laughed and, fell out on the floor several times, but there were times that I did audibly laugh. There were times that I giggled a little bit. I had fun with it.
Did you watch
It's
it
funny.
alone?
I did watch it alone, but see,
Mm.
there are plenty of shows that I watch alone that I actually laugh out loud.
Mm.
So it's not that, right? It's like it didn't have those LOL moments, but it had some funny moments, had some lightheartedness to it. You mentioned Superstore, and I think like the very first episode, I was like, oh, this reminds me of Superstore. So I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna go more in that vein. And I
Now,
kind of wish
Superstore was
that it did.
hilarious.
Superstore is really funny, and like, of course, like you mentioned, The Office. Like all these shows are kind of like fruit off of the tree of The Office. Love that show. But what I think was really cool about those shows is that it was an ensemble cast. Like, yeah, you had your like star players, but it was like an ensemble, so it was like everyone had their own storyline. And with this one, it was all about our main character, who is Melissa, played by Natasha, and it's all about her woes.
Yeah.
And as we made it through like maybe like episode 2 or 3, I was like, I kind of wish this was more of like about everybody and not just
Yeah.
her sadness.
Yeah, that is a good point because they do have an ensemble, but they didn't present it as that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they try to branch off with some of the other storylines and stuff like this.
Hmm.
In the first couple of episodes, which is all they gave us.
Yes, that's true. 4.
Um, So as we're doing this, we're only speaking about the first 4 episodes that were released unto us.
That's right.
And the other storylines around her were all not really that stand out to me, honestly.
Okay.
The most fun that I had in these first 4 episodes was her and her friend going down to security and stealing a ham. Going
Yeah,
down to
that
the
was fun.
TSA and stealing a ham.
So
Just
cute.
that moment. And then there was a scene that I think they put a lot of effort into, and that's the scene after she gets out of the hospital. She takes the Percocet.
Yeah.
And
I
then they
really like that scene. That was cool. I like how they did that. Yeah.
I didn't.
See, you didn't like it.
It went on too long, and then it was like, okay. Then they turn it into like, some like dance number or something, just to show how how out of the loop she was. But I was like, y'all could have just showed us her battery draining and made it funny like throughout her day. There's a lot of out of body moments in this show, which I feel like that's gonna be a constant throughout. So she sees other people in a distance and she's daydreaming. And then they switch the scene and you see her as whatever she is, like when she was at karaoke or whatever. It's
All right, so go ahead.
it's not I can see that it's not going to really do anything for me as a 30 something male. It's not for me. I just know it.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know if I'm gonna stay with it, T.
Okay. All right. Well, we got 4 more episodes, so we're gonna see. But it may not be for you, but I do think it is for a lot of people. I think they touch on a certain space of life that sometimes gets missed. So her character is 35. They talk about that quite a bit. And she's not married. She doesn't have any prospects. She kind of lives alone. She doesn't have a ton of friends. She's got like a dead end job. And we don't see that a lot. A lot of
Yeah.
times when the character is 35, it's like, oh, they're getting divorced. Or it's 35 and they're a mom, or it's always something like that, or they're like super career oriented. So she doesn't have time for dating because she spends her whole time, her whole life focusing on career. This is not that. This is kind of more of the regular girl who's just like living, getting through day to day. So I
Yeah.
do believe that is going to uh hit home with a lot of people because the vast majority of us probably are living like that. Like, listen, we just getting through today.
Yeah.
So I like that it hits that way. I think the scene with her and her bestie, I guess he's like initially her bestie, but the things change between them along the way. I think their scenes are really important because at that space of life, when you're like 35, friendships are weird. Friendships are interesting because you have like long-standing friendships, and then sometimes you develop these new friendships, and they change over time,
Yeah.
and you kind of see the evolution of their friendship. So I think people who have experienced that, have experienced friendship breakups, might be able to identify with some of that. So there are some of the themes in this that I think are identifiable.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Natasha does a good job with what she was given.
Yeah. I mean, they lean into relatability
Hmm.
more than anything,
Yeah.
and I think it's interesting to note that this person does not have any outside work social life, right? And
Right.
that's a lot more common than people think. But I'm of the perception that your work friends are rarely ever your real friends. And so when I go to work, if I'm hanging out with somebody from work, in my mind, I'm hanging out with you from work.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying?
interesting because when I was younger, it's funny you say like when I was way younger and I was like early into my career and I was like, oh yes, I got to be friends with these people I work with. So I was the kind of person who was like making an effort to hang out with work people. I was going to happy hours with them. I was like making
Never.
that effort. And then along the way, I started to realize I was like, these ain't my real friends. Now, that's not to say that I haven't made real friends from work. I have two of my good girlfriends are people that I made, friends that I made at work. But outside of that, it's like, nah, I got to keep y'all at arm's
Yeah,
length. And
yeah.
especially after COVID, when everybody went remote. Oh no, we not friends. We're not friends.
There is one thing that this show does, and I feel like it's a conscious choice, and I don't know if you noticed it, but a lot of the supporting roles, a lot of the characters that are just in different scenes and things like this, a lot of them are plus size Black women.
Yes.
I don't think that was a coincidence at all. We see the nurse that is there is a plus size Black woman. We see a couple of times when she's daydreaming is there's a plus size Black woman. When she has that encounter with the older lady who encourages her and then dies, that's a heavy set woman. And I just feel like that was on purpose because you don't see that a lot, so it kind of stood out to me.
I agree.
Did you gather that too?
I absolutely gathered that. And then knowing that Natasha is behind this, I'm like, she's very intentional in who she's choosing to tell the story about, but who she's choosing to be included and portray these characters. Absolutely about inclusivity, absolutely about diversity, but not in a way as like, check the box, check the box, check the box. Gotta have someone overweight, gotta have someone Black, gotta have someone. No, it's like, these are real people that you would see. And so I can really appreciate that. And was there a token white person in this? Oh, maybe the bartender. The bartender friend, was she white?
Bartender.
Wow. Remember when she went to the bar and she became friends with the girl at the bar?
I thought that was her neighbor.
She was a bartender.
Her neighbor, the Asian lady?
No. She became friends.
Or
no.
was she Latin? I can't
Maybe
even see. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is my point. This is the point right here. The fact that we watch these and we're not even able to call out with certainty certain characters and situations proves that this is not hitting on all cylinders. It's not. There was some physical comedy that happened when she ended up going to the hospital. I think that should have been funnier than it was, but I kind of just didn't even.
Self-critic.
I'm just saying. I think that it's aiming at a particular audience, and then if you don't believe that it's aiming at a particular audience, that it will probably alienate people like myself. There's a whole scene where they're rounding up the ensemble that we mentioned, and they're all rushing to try and go see Lizzo.
Yeah.
That's
also a nod to Black women, plus size women. Yeah.
That's niche, and I'm wondering if this was written and done before all the Lizzo controversy and stuff like this. So it's for them. It's for anybody who feels like they're in a midlife crisis, who feels like they're at a standstill, or they maybe facing some things, or they may be unseen, maybe looked over, whether it be career wise or dating, whatever. And it's also meant to be a uplifting story for plus size women. I fully believe that is intentional.
Oh, absolutely.
So all those things are good things to have, but it doesn't seem to have any appeal to a wide audience. Okay. No pun intended.
All right. Well, no pun intended. All right. So with that being said, let us know, what is your rating? I'm curious.
I'm gonna give it a Kevin Hart. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Okay.
It's not. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
It just misses the mark on being appealing to a broader audience, in my opinion. Okay. But if you find, a big girl and her gay bestie, they would love this show.
Maybe.
They would love it. They would love it. But no, I don't know. I don't know. Since they didn't give us all the episodes, I would have watched it all the way through. I did, I did stay with it, but I would have watched it all the way through. But since they gave us this break, I don't know if I'm gonna go back. What about you, T?
Okay, well, I will watch it and then I will let you know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to report back.
I'll report back. You know I will. It's funny, you said a word earlier and it stuck with me. You used the word unseen.
Hmm.
And it stuck with me because I'm like, wow, what a wonderful title that would have been for this show.
How to be
Because the
seen.
title, Try to Die Alone, I think is terrible. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it so much. But I gotta say, I didn't really hate anything else about this show except the title. I wish they would have went a different direction. They should have called you because you would have hit him with Unseen. It would have been perfect. But here we are. Other than that, like you said, it does miss the mark on some of the comedy. I feel like they could have went a little further with some of the laughs. I'm not sure if they were trying to like keep it at a certain type of rating or they were trying to like make it.
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't family friendly. I'm not sure where we were going with that, but there were certain points that I was like, yo, this could have been a really good bit. Like, y'all really could have had a really good moment here, and they kind of missed it. Um, but I do appreciate Natasha. I might be biased because I've seen her in other things and she does have a lot of range. I think she's really funny. I think she's a great writer. So it was nice to see her in this, nice to see her in a starring role. Everything I've ever seen her in has been, a side character. So I like seeing her in this. I like the idea of them working at JFK and all the shenanigans that can be involved with that. And I honestly wish the show was about that, just the shenanigans and all the things that go on, working at the airport, the different cast members, the different relationships. I really wish it was more about that, and less about this coming of age, this,
Yeah.
trying to find a man and trying to figure out this and that, because we've seen that before, in different ways. I will say again, I do think it's interesting that they went with, okay, her being middle 30s, her being kind of just regular, not career oriented, not the super, super pretty girl, just kind of in the middle. So I appreciate that, but a lot of the themes we've seen before. So I will continue to watch this. I did have fun with it. I am curious to see where they're going to go. I think where they took the break is interesting, where they stopped it. So I'm curious to see how they're going to keep people interested in wanting to watch the remaining episodes. So for me, I am actually going to give this one a Jennifer Lewis. It's right in the middle for me. We right here,
See.
midway.
See.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
see.
Yes.
I don't know. Let me know if there's something that happens in the show
Mhm.
and it makes you scream and shout, or some big revelation
Yes.
or
Uh-huh.
something. Let me know about that exact timestamp and send me
Okay.
there,
I will do it.
and then we'll see.
All
Because
right. You're the first person I'm reaching out to.
so far I'm just, I don't know. I don't know. It's not bad. It's just not for me.
You know what? And that is fair. A lot more people should take that approach in life. It ain't bad, it just ain't for me.
And- so, if you've been watching this long, you may as well go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and get in on the conversation. This is a two-way street. Don't leave us up here by ourselves now, okay? You can also, if you're listening to this as an audio medium, you can reach out to us by sending us a text, donating to the show, whether it be on YouTube, um, in the show notes, etc. There's a whole lot of ways to help us out here.
Mhm.
But the best way, and it's free, is to leave a comment and let us know what you thought about this show.
Yes.
whether you love it, you're with it, or you feel like me and you're just like, if I miss it, I don't care, right? Just let us know. As always, I've been TeaRon. You can find me on Instagram at TeaRon World, on TikTok at TeaRon with 2 underscores on the end. You can find Ubiquitous Blacks all over the social media at Ubiquitous Blacks. And if you have any recommendations, referrals, what's another one? What's another R word?
Demonstrations.
Huh?
Oh.
Did you say demonstrations?
I did.
Do not send us anything of you demonstrating anything, because that can open up the door for some mess. Okay,
Touche.
so yeah, just keep, keep it cool, keep it neat, and keep it professional, and we'll be all right. Tiara, where can they find you?
Yes, correct. Yes, you guys can find me on all the things at Tiara Takes Travel at TIERA TAKES TRAVEL. I do travel content here on YouTube, so come over and check me out, say hello, and then you can find me on the socials there as well, or you can go to my website. It's tieratakes.com. I'm going to echo TeaRon as I always do. Please send suggestions and recommendations, not demonstrations, our way. But if you got something cool that you've been watching and you want us to check it out, send it our way, and we will do so.
Yes. And until we chat you up next week, peace out, y'all.